What's up, folks, and welcome back to Dyce Reacts, where we are staying in Poland tonight. We are going to be checking out 5 things done better in Poland compared to US of A. Very much side checks one out. We ain't going to waste no more time. We're just going to get right into it, folks. We're going to get right into it. Oh yeah.
Dzień dobry, cześć, hello. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about 5 things that are done better in Poland than in the USA. So I just have to say that this is my opinion, in my opinion only. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is really just for fun. And anyways, guys, make sure to watch my other video titled 5 things done better in the USA than in Poland. So anyways, guys, let's just get started. So the first one on my list is bread and butter. And yeah, that's not a joke. Bread and butter is just done way better in Poland than in the US, okay? It's hard to even compare because bread in the US is absolutely horrible. There's really not a whole lot of bakeries, and when you go to one,
I've heard a lot of people say that about the bread in the US of A. I've been to the US before one time. I've tasted a couple slices of bread. Can't remember the brand, but it was okay. Nothing to really scream and shout about. And I've heard a lot of people that have lived there for a long time compare the bread to different countries, and they all say the same. The bread in the US is like basically subpar compared to other countries. So I've never heard anyone said the US bread is just good. That's something that they don't really rank high.
US is absolutely horrible. There's really not a whole lot of bakeries, and when you go to one, sometimes they can be super expensive for just like a loaf of bread. So whereas in Poland, you can go to a bakery pretty much anywhere. I mean, every single city, small town, village is gonna have a bakery, and they're gonna have amazing bread there. And most of the time you can smell it before you even see the shop too, because most of the time they're baking their bread, in the morning or something like that. And then you can just smell it on your walk to the bakery. It's a really cool part of Poland, and I'm really sure that most of the Polish people that are going to watch this are going to be like, what are you talking about? This is just bread. Like, are you seriously going to make this one of the points on your list? And yes, I am, because it's that much better. See, in the US, we have like loaves of bread that are, the most classic one in the US that a lot of Americans, everyone knows is like a white bread. Okay, it's like this loaf of bread, and it's absolutely horrible. It's just full of chemicals. It's disgusting. Honestly, it's pretty hard to even eat after going to Poland and then coming back to the US. In the region Lubelska, or I'm definitely certain in Lublin, is that you can find cebulash. So this is like onion bread, and it sounds kind of disgusting at first, but it's just like a loaf of bread with onions and like butter on it. And it's super simple, but it's one of my favorite things to eat in Poland. I absolutely love going to the bakery, every other day or so and getting cebulash and eating it. It's so good. And also I wanted to add butter to this list just because it's so much better in Poland. So yeah, our butter here tends to be very bland and plain compared to butter in Poland. And that's really all I'm gonna say to this list. I'm not gonna talk much longer about butter. So anyways, guys, let's get to the next point. So the next point is honesty and criticism. Okay, the criticism that comes out of Poland that people have said to me either in the comments or in real life, or my friends that I've talked to in Poland, the things they've said to me would not fly in America. You see, here in America, we have this attitude of everything's all right, everything's happy, and everything's great all the time. Let's put on our Hollywood smiles, right? And just smile, okay? We're never upset or anything like that. And if we have a problem with someone, or we just want to tell someone something to maybe fix something, most of the time that doesn't happen. Honestly, I think Americans kind of have a problem with criticism, and they just can't take criticism or the honesty, that goes along with that. I think most of the time Americans just can't take that. You see, whenever I was talking to one of my Polish friends, he ended up telling me that my face was fat.
Hello, Trevor. Your face is fat. Oh my god.
At the time I was in Poland, I was drinking and eating a lot of Polish foods, So I was drinking salty beer and I was eating food, so of course I'm gonna get fat and also hold, you know, more water retention and stuff like that as well. So I was fat and I was holding water a little bit fatter than, you know, what I am now. So he told me that, he's like, yeah, your face is fat. And I'm just like, I started laughing because I'm like, that's the most Polish thing you could have ever said to me. And I was just thinking about how honest the guy was when he was telling me this and how funny it was. And you know, most of the comments that I get on YouTube before, whenever I just started and I was making, you know, Polish content, the comments that I was receiving was really hard to hear most of the time because it really wasn't a whole lot of positive reinforcement. But then again, most of the things that people have said in the comments have made me a better person and YouTuber and editor. And there's definitely a line between criticism and hate. I totally understand that. But if someone's just trying to help you fix something, most of the time, just take it as constructive criticism. So the next one is environmental awareness.
Honesty is the best policy, man. Period, man.
Honestly, I think Poland is changing a lot when it comes to the environment and things like that and fixing it. Obviously, Poland has a very bad air quality, right? It just tends to sit in, I'm pretty sure, Silesia and, you know, the mountain region, Kraków, Zakopane, all of that stuff. You know, it just kind of sits in the mountains, you know, and I know that some people, you know, a lot of people are still burning coal in their chimneys. And I know that some people are even burning trash as well, which of course is absolutely horrible for the environment. But then again, whenever I go to Poland, every single time I'm there, I always think about how things are done environmentally. So whenever you go to Poland, you have to pay for your bags. Like if you're gonna go grocery shopping or go to the mall or, you know, something like that. And because of this, a lot of people will reuse bags. When I was in Poland, I was reusing bags. I'm pretty sure that there's also a lot of different taxes towards vehicles that are, you know, having worse emissions or, you know, older or things like that. And I'm pretty sure that Poland is leaning towards the right direction when it comes to the environment. And slowly over time, I think it's just going to get better and better, you know, in the next decades to come. So just bear with me here. The next one is tiles and flooring, okay? Flooring is done better in Poland than in the US. When you go to Poland, all of the floors in the homes are always tiled or they're either, you know, they have wood over them. Versus in the US, there's lots of homes with carpet still. Most of the time in the US, when they make a house now, most of the time the bottom floor is typically wood, or, you know, they also have this in different colors. And then usually in the top floor and individual rooms, they will have carpet in them still. They're still making homes like that. And honestly, I don't really know why. It's nice to have a rug in a room, you know, something that you could throw away every year, you know, if it gets dirty over time. But to have a carpet of something that can get stained, especially when you're walking on it constantly, and also that, you know, a lot of Americans will wear shoes inside. And I know everyone will cringe and say, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? And it's just something that I grew up with. I wore shoes inside. No one cared. That's just what we did. I mean, we cleaned the floors and we vacuumed and swept and all of that stuff, but it's still a lot more better to obviously just have tile flooring or wood flooring throughout the entire house. And going along with this, I'm gonna add this as a bonus point, is that, you know, houses are done better in Poland than in the US, okay? I've worked in construction, in warehouses, and residential homes, and the homes they make here, they are a joke. Okay, if a tornado came here to the area in which I live, all the homes would be torn down instantly. They build these homes.
I never understood that, especially in areas that are prone to tornadoes and stuff. Like, why don't you build brick houses? But again, it has a lot to do with the way that it's situated in the government. In certain areas, there's a way that you're supposed to build a house and what you have to build the house with. Yes, it depends on the landscape of where you're building, because they have certain type of rules, certain type of measures to build a house.
Here to the area in which I live, all the homes would be torn down instantly. They build these homes in sometimes less than a few weeks. They basically mass produce these homes here in the US, and their frames would tip over compared to a Polish house. You see, in Poland, I've never worked in construction, but I've definitely analyzed houses in different buildings and construction along with this. And every single house I saw that was in construction in Poland looked like they were preparing for a tornado in the future. You see, all of these homes had had either cinder blocks or bricks built all the way up to the top. And also the roof tiles are typically made out of like a clay or, you know, a type of metal. I'm not really sure what the exact material is, but honestly I think Polish homes are aesthetically more pleasing in Poland than in the US. And honestly, the new ones that have kind of a white with a black roof, they kind of have this like Japanese look. Looks very sophisticated to me, and it's something that I think are done much better in Poland than compared to the cheap houses that are done here. And the next one is family. You see, whenever I go to Poland and I experience my girlfriend's family, you know, it's not something I'm generally used to because I grew up with divorced parents, and honestly, like not having a family that was like extremely tight. And I noticed that people seem to be a lot more family oriented in Poland than in the US. And I feel like people in Poland put a lot more emphasis on family in general. Let me know if this is wrong, but honestly, I really definitely believe this. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in the US, it's just changed. You know, immigrants came here to make money. And then, you know, most of the time people just ended up just trying to chase money here and forgetting about their own family, you know, and what's actually important in life. So change my mind on that if you think I'm wrong, and let me know what you think, or really just any of these points, because this is it for the video. Those were the 5 things that are done better in Poland than in the USA from my own humble opinion. And yeah, if you have anything you want to add, let me know in the comment section down below. Or if you want to change my mind on something, let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm eager to hear your criticism.
And your face is fat, man. I'm just kidding. Made a lot of good points there. Certainly, I'm going to have a problem with the bread and butter aspect, because when I was little, this is what they used to call me, butter man. I love a bread and butter. And if it's hot bread, oh my goodness, you know I'm going to put double the amount of butter that I normally put. Might even triple it, because I want it to soak. I'm not talking about those store breads like he's saying there. Nah, it's not going to be good. It's just going to be hot. Like he said, hot chemicals. I ain't into that. When it comes to the homes, US homes are notorious for falling like a house of cards. I don't think anyone looks at the US and think of strong houses. Like, no. I've never looked at the US that way. Maybe there are some places like that definitely the homes are stronger, you could tell, but for the most part, no one thinks of US homes as strong. Now, you may see it as fancy, maybe like some homes in terms of celebrity homes and stuff like that, but you still don't look at it like as though it's strong. You just think, wow, it's expensive, but you don't think of it like it's strong compared to many other places around the world. When you think about strong housing, you know, houses that can last a lifetime. And he's not wrong. When you have a culture that is so fast-paced like America, people just, as time passes, people forget about what actually matters and just think about money. It's a fast life. The system kind of like forces you to just keep on, like you're on a hamster wheel, and you're not even looking at how time passes you by, and you forget the things that matter. It's all about you, it's all about me. And many people have said that there's not a really family oriented type of culture in America compared to smaller countries that are not even that higher on the economical scale. So it just seems to me that I don't know if there's a correlation, but many countries that are super developed tend to have less of a family kind of oriented like lifestyle. That's what I've observed throughout my time watching different type of content on YouTube, and I've heard people from other countries talk about the country, and there's always a correlation that I've noticed. I don't know if you guys have recognized that, but I've recognized. You guys could tell me if I'm wrong, just like he said. Tell me if I'm wrong. And you know, he's not wrong at all. He's not wrong. I don't know if I'm wrong. You guys tell me. Yep. If you want to see that long term outro like do, hit me up on Dyce Reacts. We have the music reactions. This is where I'm going to be making my exit. Until next time, peace out.